Hey Bread Gang, I hope everyone's doing good and keeping safe. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys an update on OZOP. So ticker symbol OZSC. And in particular, I'm going to have a look at the price action. So look at where the price currently is, where I believe it's going to go to. Because right now the price is moving very interesting and long term it could be very explosive. But before I get into today's video, make sure you guys subscribe and of course hit that notification bell. And give this video a thumbs up. Let me know this is the kind of content you guys like to see. With that being said, let's get this bread. So looking at the chart of OZOP, the price is still below that 200 period moving average. So the trend is still bearish at the moment. But from my last video on the 31st of August, after that news hit that OZOP got a big contract, I believe that the price was going to head up to test that 200 moving average, but that hasn't been the case because the price has just been range bound since then. So even though the price has been range bound, it's broken out of this bull flag, but not in the way that would get you all excited thinking, you know what, there's a lot of momentum, the price has broken the bull flag, this is going to be it, it's going to take off. That hasn't been the case, but the bull flag is not really a good indicator anymore to go by. So just looking at a pure price action, so the range is between 6 or 7 cents and 5 cents. So two things about the range bound is one, the whole stock market pretty much moves in a total random fashion most of the time, right? So most of the time the market is actually in the range bound. No matter which market you pull up OZOP, you pull up Apple, it's mainly in the range bound, and then from time to time the market trends up or trends down. And pretty much before it trends, it breaks out of that range, whether it's to the upside or to the downside. So this is nothing really abnormal, the fact that the market right now is trading in a range. But the good thing about this range bound is that this is pretty much a classic example of accumulation. So accumulation and distribution, this is where institutions, professional investors, they accumulate a position. So they accumulate a position over time. So the reason they accumulate the position over time is that they don't want to leave their footprint in the market before they've got their full position built out. All right, so if they want to get maybe 1,000 shares, 100,000 shares, 1,000,000 shares, which is very normal for institutions to buy up. Obviously, if they buy up 1,000,000 shares straight away, within a day or two, that market is going to take off and a lot of people are going to jump on. But the institutions, they're not going to build out the 1,000,000 shares that they hoped. They will maybe build out like maybe 100,000 shares before the market takes off and a lot of people catch on. So institutions like to build out their position over time through accumulation. This is basically so that the market fluctuates between different extremes, so it goes high, low, high, low. In terms of the institution, the beauty for them is that the general public wouldn't catch on. They'll look at the market and think, you know what, this is a boring market. I'm going to try and look for something that's trending. I'm going to try and look for something that's a meme stock or whatever, like whatever reason they believe that a lot of people are going to be jumping on, they're going to look for trends, right? So a range bound market is going to be boring for a lot of people, but for institutions and professional traders, whenever they see a pretty much accumulation, i.e. a range bound market, most of the times a range bound market, they're going to get excited. So they're going to start buying whenever the range comes down and then selling a little bit at the top to bring the price basically fluctuating, so that way when they build out the position and the market takes off, so it breaks out of that resistance of the range, then you see a lot of explosive moves, and this is usually the start of a big trend. So by the time a lot of people catch on, then pretty much the institutions, they've already made a killing. Right now I believe OZOP is within that accumulation phase. So the accumulation phase actually doesn't just happen, or you don't see the results of it within a day or a week. It's usually a long-term thing. All right, so institutions, they're gonna build out the position over time. Like imagine 1,000,000 shares, they're gonna build that out over weeks, months. Technically you're not gonna see a lot of movement within a couple of days, or perhaps the price breaking out of that resistance. The market is more or less going to be range bound, I believe, for the next couple of weeks leading into months. It might actually break out before then. And another reason I believe the price is going to explode, and I believe that the price is in this accumulation phase, is that the OZOP as a company, they've been awarded this contract fairly recently. So a huge contract from the Canadian Department of Defense. That's crazy, you know. So there's a lot of business for the company. A lot of institutions are going to be like eyes open looking at this, like, you know what, this company has potential, so let's accumulate our position over time, just test the waters with the market, see how the market responds to our buying, responds to our selling, etc., and just to see where the underlying pressure is. Because at the end of the day, even though institutions predominantly move the market, right, but there's also underlying pressure. There's a lot of retail traders, there's a lot of professional traders, there's a lot of traders with huge like private investment funds, etc., with huge capital as well that can influence the market. That's the underlying pressure. Institutions, they want to see this underlying pressure where it is. Basically, if there's an underlying pressure within the support area, so i.e. the support of perhaps 4 cents, is there a lot of underlying pressure? Is there a lot of demand? So is the price, every time the price gets there, as institutions, whenever we test that price, does the price rebound a lot? So that way we know that, you know what, this is a good support, so let's keep building, because the minute we impact this market, the price is just going to take off and we're going to make a lot of money from it. So this strategy from institutions, combined with pretty much the fact that, look, OZOP as a company has a lot of potential long term, this is like recipe for a huge bullish move sometime in the next couple of months, or even the first 6 months of 2022. There could potentially be a lot of green candles, a lot of bullish movements that could see this price potentially get to like $10, $5 at least. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys subscribe and of course hit that notification bell and give this video a thumbs up so I know this is the kind of content you like to see. And also comment below, let me know your thoughts on OZOP, the company or the price. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next video.